All right, boys. IPL is over, and Gujaratis are not over. They are ruling India already. Modi, Shah, everybody, and now they're ruling the god sport of India, the cricket. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. I know everybody's worried about China going for the world domination, but I personally believe Guju's going to beat the Chinese and take over the world by 2030. They're going to be the greatest pandemic, and they're not going to let you do anything because they will. First of all, there'll not be any jobs because Gujus don't like jobs. They just want to become entrepreneurs. So if you're not Guju, you'll be doing the jobs. You'll be like menial workers. And so I really have to cover my hairy ass, and I've done that. I've already enrolled into Guju language classes, and I'm also changing my last name. I'm contemplating, or as Guju is like contemplating, either with Patel, Shah, the fancy ones, or the Gandhi, the Modi, the Ambani. But the one I really like is Sarabhai. I want to have my name as Sarabhai, Gaurav Sarabhai, or maybe I'll change it Saurabh Gaurav, something like that, whatever. Or Dhaval, because when I used to live in Ahmedabad, I thought Dhaval was the most Gujarati name ever.
It will be, by the way, if you change it to Sarabhai, it will be Gaurav Bhai Sarabhai.
Gaurav Bhai Sarabhai. Bhai has to be there as well. Okay.
Yes.
It's like, no, that's a joke. You have not read my books, but there was a joke in my first book. It's like somebody's name is Chatterjee. He's like, please call me G. It's like, you already have Chatterjee. And then you have to say G as well. Like, how many G's are there? Chatterjee, G. It's like, no, just for some fucking respect. All right. So, till I become pure half blood, we already have full blood. I mean, he was born in Junagadh. I also found out Hardik was born in Surat. These guys are full blood. I'm going to become half blood very soon. This guy's a quarter blood, not the quarter that we drink, which is also true. But then Bikram is quarter blood. He couldn't even write it because they say quarter is not allowed. At least become half. Let's talk about the funniest and the worst moments of IPL.
That's why I started drinking chas now.
Chas, okay. And rather drinking papada also. And a lot of nashta. I learned in Gujarat that when they say nashta, it just means like big packets of all this snacks that they eat and they just keep eating. We used to eat in the PG. People carry those things, people just put their hands in and like eat. It was amazing. No wonder people got like super fat and shit. All right, let's start with the worst fielding. I mean, according to me, I have never seen anybody field. If anybody missed it, that'll be amazing. Go on YouTube. Rahane diving in front of the wicketkeeper Sam Billings. Like the guy had mitts. He just jumps in front of him. And that is the most epic misfielding I've ever seen in my life. Sam Billings just coming and he just stops. He's like, fuck is this guy doing? And then he drops the catch and he's just lying on the floor in front of him. And Sam Billings just like, if it was MSD, he would have just stabbed him to death at that moment, I think. But and MSD would have been in jail forever, but they would have taken him off because, it's MSD. Do you have any other thing apart from that?
Even Pant's drop catch was epic. And then the Bishnoi catch, which you showed me, I didn't see it
live. The Bishnoi catch. You're not putting the videos as well. So Lal will please watch our own podcast because I think you might have missed it. I mean, there's a dolliest of dolly. It just goes like, something you cannot drop and then everybody just, can't even complain because now you're so stunned. Once you dropped it, he himself dropped it off his own bowling. And then it was like...
The ball
like they see hit the top of the bat, he just bounces up and he just goes like this and he's waiting for it and he drops it. I remember Rohit Sharma also dropping something like this once in one of the matches, which is dumbest thing. What do you think the stupidest moment? You've come up with 3 stupid moments. One is obviously the Praveen Amre. Apparently, I checked his Wikipedia and he had the same coach as Sachin Tendulkar, and Sachin Tendulkar's coach said he will become a greater player than Sachin Tendulkar. I think that's some exaggeration. He did not, although he still remains one person who scored a century on his test debut, the only century he ever scored for India. And now he's a coach. He's got a lot of punch. That's why he didn't play much. Now, he coming on the field telling the umpires where the waist is, because his waist is pretty protruding. That was amazing. And the audience meet trying to run out Tewatia. I think that was just a lot of comedy happening there. I just totally loved it. And Rishabh Pant himself appealing for the out, the first delivery, when this guy, Tim David, comes in a match they need to win, and then deciding that, no, I don't want to take the review anymore. And then only to seeing on the screen that, oh my God, there was a big edge. I was appealing. He was the one who was appealing, and he said, no. That was something. So, which one do you think is the best of these 3, or you have your own pick? I think I've been speaking. I ought to let you guys in as well.
I think the stupidest would be Pant not going for the review because it's stupidest. But I think
both were involved with Pant only. By the way, Praveen Amre went only because Pant asked him.
Correct. So to me that was really stupid. I mean, I wouldn't even call it funny. It's just plain stupid. What was he saving the review for, anyways?
In the same match, he caught
No,
out on a wide delivery. In the same match, he dropped a catch from his mitts, which was right under his eye line. In the same match, he did not take a review, which he himself appealed for, and he himself was a captain. Please, Vikram.
I know, and interestingly, actually, he did mention it after the match, and he said no, he was sure that he had nicked it,
Yeah, and that's
but
bullshit because we could see
other
it. The other guy, whatever his name is, Shabazz, he was telling him, do it. And he was like, nay, 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 nay. And I was like, we've seen the video evidence. This was not you, moron. The other people are telling him to do it. Shabazz was saying, that, Shabazz actually pointing to the tickers, like, the timer. He's like, time ho raha, jaldi kar, jaldi kar. And he's like, chhod do. My goodness, he blamed other people. It was just crazy. I mean, guy is so
yeah.
useless. I can't believe I was complaining about Hardik Pandya at the start of the series. And now how wrong I turned out about Hardik Pandya. The coolest bloke. What do you think is the funniest moment? I mean, I think Ashwin did retire himself, and I thought that created history. So that was definitely funny for me.
To me,
And then
the
you have
funniest.
shown me this picture where this girl says, "I'll not get married till RCB wins the Premier League."
I'm
Or
sure she's
Indian
already
Premier League.
married.
It's never gonna happen, buddy. I think she's one. I think anybody who doesn't want any woman in India doesn't want to get married. Right? That's exactly what they should tell their parents. I'll get married the moment RCB wins the Premier League. They will never win the fucking Premier League, and that's a good catch-22 situation. And what about that guy who it was not a streaker, but the guy who was running after Virat Kohli, and then Virat Kohli, alerted
That
all
was pretty
the.
funny.
I mean, Virat Kohli should not be alerting the people, right? They should be alert themselves. I mean, he's telling them, please come in,
Come,
and then
come,
Virat
come.
Kohli could not stop himself. Like it was just. I mean, that was some comedy of errors. Obviously, we've seen worse, but
To me,
these three were
to,
something.
yeah. But apart from this, I think one thing that stood out to me, which I found funny throughout the tournament, was Ashwin getting this Kohli-like attitude. I don't know from where. He was like thumping his chest and like trying to sledge and stare, and like he thinks that he is now batsman. Like that. That to me was funny. Like he kept me entertained across all Rajasthan matches.
Man, Virat Kohli
Yeah,
had imaginary friends, right? As they were saying. This guy had himself. Virat Kohli is talking to people like he's this imaginary friend, like Calvin Hobbes, right? And this guy was like, and he wouldn't even stop. When he made that 20 ball 40 or something and they won the match, he was
50.
mental. But
Yeah,
except, I mean, this is not the podcast for that. But if you remembered, this is the guy they actually targeted it, both in the qualifier, both in the
yeah.
final. They went after him straight away,
He was
and
the
the game
fifth.
was over.
He was the fifth bowler.
Fifth bowler. I still
In fact,
remember
in
that
fact, Sangakara,
Shabnam went
yeah,
after him, Shubman Gill.
Shabnam. No, in fact, Sangakara said yesterday that I know he's a legend, but he should think about his bowling and when to bowl off spin and all that. He said something like that. It was. I mean, wherever he goes, this guy gets embarrassed. Like even in, I think he was Punjab's captain, right? Couple of years back,
It's
and
difficult
then
to
they
manage.
draw.
Was he even captain? Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
was.
think he should not be captain because that's just too much. Because he'll just destroy people. He can't control himself. Because Virat Kohli has this soft spot, right? After he goes off the pitch, he can understand. But I don't think Ashwin is always on. Like this guy is exactly like that.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta move on from Ashwin. We could come back to him because he's been enlisted in lot of categories. Let's talk about the most selfish player. I mean, he can be one of them as well. Ashwin, KL or MSD. It has to be either one of them because I feel KL never plays for anybody else but himself. MSD never retires. Why? Because the team will be better. No, for himself. Ashwin, he just always himself.
My vote is for KL. Simple. I've said
My vote
enough
is
through the
also for
season.
KL. People might not believe this because you know why? Because he's a nice guy. He's the same. We have the same conundrum that we have for Marcus Rashford. Just because he does good shit outside, people are not able to say bad things about him. Those things are completely different, right? Those things are completely different. I mean, so
Yeah.
I agree. It will be KL only. Do you have anything
I
different?
think
I know MSD is very, very, but at the same time, his captaincy does help them. So technically, he's not as
Yeah.
selfish.
MSD, yeah, I mean, I only nominated him, so I'll have to say something about him. I think whatever they did to Jadeja was very bad,
That was
and
diabolical, not selfish.
yeah, and just another side note, he is named in a charge sheet, not charge sheet, sorry. An FIR has been filed under his name because of some bounce checks. There is a lot. There's a very big case going on
MSD.
for some. Yeah, for he was he's a chairman or owner of some infrastructure company, and that
Fucking
company
shell
defrauded a
company.
lot of people, and now there is an FIR against his name. So yeah,
And
I
they'll
mean
figure it
that's
out somehow. But I'm just happy to know that. I'm totally happy to know that MSD. He's very, very selfish. What about the worst fielder? I still have Hasranga there, but for one match he became Jaunty Rhodes. That was amazing. But Siraj is horrible. Sunil Narine had said one amazing thing, but rest Sunil Narine cannot even bend. He's just kind of crazy. I really miss Zahir Khan. He was such terrible fielder.
Yeah,
I mean,
my
a lot of
would
Indian players were really
definitely,
terrible.
yeah, my would definitely is Sunil Narine. He's the stiffest person that I've seen on a cricket field. He's
yeah.
not like
Even his
unfit. Like you've seen more unfit looking players, right? I mean, you've had
Hatmayer. He
Ranatungas
said
and
my wife
Insagongs
was
of the
pregnant.
world. Yeah,
But
but
he was
this
pregnant.
guy is like lean, lanky, but he's the stiffest person I've seen.
even his face muscles are stiff. He doesn't smile. That's why.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything. I mean, guy, man, like literally, he's like completely modeled himself on MSD, or MSD had modeled himself of him. We don't know, but they are both like they are like expressionless people. I mean, I just want to have all these
I,
Owen Morgan, MSD, Sunil Narine together, and I'm like, it's like what is happening? If you just mute the thing and you don't tell people what is happening, you'll have no idea who's winning, who's losing.
I'll tell
It's
you.
like
I'll
what
tell
is
you what
happening.
they should do. Someone should hire all of them and make a movie.
Silent movie. The name of the movie will be the silent movie.
And then one movie will be Ashwin versus Virat Kohli. And the
And
fact that they
and
never got along. Is
Riyan
it a
Parag, Riyan
surprise?
Parag special appearance.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
we got to talk about
was.
Ryan Parag. Let's not bring him right now. Let's talk about the worst bowlers. Okay, I'm now you have to pick at least three because there were so many. Mo Siraj took only 9 wickets, played 15 matches, gave run more than 10 runs and over. Ravi Vishnu is supposed to be next best big fucking thing ever. Took 13 wickets, 8.44. Did not have the impact at all. Shardul Thakur, 15 wickets he did take, but gave almost 10 runs and over, and did not have the impact. Just not go on the statistics. Shardul Thakur was not worth all that fucking money that they were
I
paid to him.
would,
No
I
impact.
would, yeah, I would add one person to the list, which is Varun Chakravarti, but I would
Oh,
give the award to Mohammad Siraj. He, I think, also conceded the most number of sixes in the tournament,
Yes, 31.
which is shocking for a pace bowler to concede so many sixes. It's just crazy. But yeah, in this list, Varun Chakravarti also deserves to be
Because he
on this
kept bowling the
list.
same fucking line.
Yeah.
He thought he was Hoff, Hazelwood. Because there's subtle differences, right? Subtle differences. He kept
Yeah.
bowling that hard length, and they kept picking him on that. But he was just not the same bowler. Do you have somebody else? But I agree with Varun Chakravarti. He was also supposed to be the next biggest thing ever, the most mystery. They just destroyed him. He was in fact benched for like 5 6 games.
Yeah, he was.
no, I mean, good pick, man. Good that you pointed out about him because we always forgot about him. That's how bad he
Yes,
was.
I did actually.
But
I was like, I completely forgot about him. He was bad. I didn't even write about it. Like
but
when
yeah,
you
I
said it, I
think
was like,
in
that makes
this
total sense.
yeah, but in this season, I think it has to be taken by Mohammad Siraj. Like expectation versus reality, so much
Yeah.
difference is there.
Man, it was just bad shit, man. What about the all rounders? I now, when I check this auction list, literally every person is listed as all rounder. So it's very difficult to tell who is who. But how is Riyan Parag an all rounder? He's taken 1 wicket, okay, 1 wicket, and he's made 183 runs in 17 matches. Vijay 3D Shankar, they didn't even give him to bowl. He got 0 wickets. He bowled something. He played 4 matches, made 19 runs at less than 5. Okay, 4.75. This guy was supposed to be the 3D greatest thing ever. Pat Cummins, apart from that one innings, he went for runs after runs, never made any runs. I mean,
For,
there's so many players. These three players are there for me. I mean,
yeah, firstly, I'm surprised that Pat Cummins is categorized as all-rounder. So I would like pardon him. I don't
that's what they
think.
were selling him.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I wouldn't even consider him as an. That
Ashwin is
one
all
innings
rounder.
was a bonus. So I would not vote him. To me, if Riyan Parag is classified as an all-rounder, then he has to be the worst one. He
He
didn't
is.
do anything apart from like few attitude, few things that he showed off. I mean, on the field, which was neither with the bowling or batting. He has to be the worst all-rounder.
He was definitely the worst all rounder. His fielding is top level, uh, but apart like fielding, yes, but he doesn't bowl. They don't give him the ball. He takes 1 wicket. He made 183 runs playing every single match. I mean, these guys played the maximum matches, right? 17 games. I mean, that's like 10 runs and 10 runs a match. That's just not
Yeah.
good enough at all. That's not
Yeah,
good
and
enough.
I think
So
we should also mention Stoinis because I mean I don't think it's all completely his fault, but the way they used him, he
Yeah.
neither did anything with the with ball, and neither he did anything with the bat because I don't know why they they were playing him. Some of the matches, everyone got out, then they used to send him. Like, yeah,
By the
very
way,
strange.
if by that logic, I would nominate Venkatesh Iyer also to be in the list. He was an
I
all-rounder,
mean,
right?
yeah, I mean, I didn't want to put every. I mean, I don't know why. Like, I didn't want to put everybody in. That's why I didn't want to clutter it. There are so many amazing players who would have featured in so many lists, like almost 10
Yeah.
nominations. They would have broken the Razzies of Oscars. Like I didn't want that. That's why I left them out. But when you talk about worst batsmen, my God, I don't know where to start. Rahane, Kohli, Kane, Stoinis, Wade, Anuj Rawat, Pollard, Venki Iyer, Shahrukh Khan, Uttappa, Rosha, Rohit Sharma. I mean, can you give me top three of yours? Like, I don't know. Like these
I
guys are
I
so
would
shit.
start I would start with Uttapa. I had high. I thought he would do
He
really
started
well.
very well.
He really sucked. I mean, he just like fizzled out like crazy.
And
I mean,
Ishqish also, by the
Rahane.
way.
Yeah, I didn't have too many expectations. I thought Rahane got more matches than he deserved. I thought he'll play one or two matches and they'll drop him.
Dude, if he
But I
got one
mean,
match and he's playing more matches than he deserves, he deserves
that's
zero.
just
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
to me, it's
That's simple.
Uttapa, Wade. I don't. First of all, like I mean, Gujarat goofed up in the auction. They didn't have keepers, and it was more like for me, it looked like a panic buy. Because Wade, I mean, come on, I don't think he fits to fill like a overseas player quota in any of the franchise teams.
But he was
So
very cheap
and
also. You can understand.
yeah,
And if he
that's true.
stays
But
on, he might
and
actually
he
find some
didn't.
confidence.
Yeah,
And
he
he can
didn't
play.
perform.
He's the one who won them the World Cup, right?
Yeah, but he didn't perform well. So I think I would
No, he did
it
not.
would be Uttapa, Wade, and Kane. Kane was
You're just letting
surprisingly bad.
letting Kohli off the hook. I mean, the guy's a fucking disaster for 16 CR or some shit like that.
Yeah, he is, but I still feel at least his team, like by that logic, you would say Wade won the thing, but I just feel at least he had one or two innings just
I think, yeah, the
above
GT
average.
inning.
By the way, he had only one innings. Okay, Vikram. And he, at least because of the way he played, RCB lost at least three matches. So take that. And that one innings that he played very well, RCB did not win because of that innings. They would have won anyway.
So I would say Kane because
Can't
that's
believe
what.
I'm defending Kohli in front of you. You're the fucking Kohli basher.
So I think Kane, Kohli, and Rosha because these are big names, right? These are the big names, and I know Rohit Sharma has not been doing so well, but now this was the time, right? He's Indian captain. He's like
Yeah.
on a high. They are defending champions, and to play like this, oh my God, it was bad. It was very bad.
I think it was terrible. Although, before I move on to the next one, but I don't know why, because you just said Rohit Sharma is not doing any well. There's no free will, right? Your mind just starts thinking. Suddenly, that news I read before sleeping last night came to my mind. The Indo-Canadian, Punjabi-Canadian singer. This is the news today in India everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Sidhu
Yeah.
Moosewala. And I found out his name was not Musewala. Musewala is the village he comes from. His name was Khushvinder something. Sidhu. He was shot dead. I mean the copycat culture, man. Like because you're a rapper, so this is and they shot him exactly the
Tupac,
way they shoot in
Tupac.
the black rappers in the 90s, in the early noughties, 2000s. People don't understand what is noughties. So exactly the same way. I mean, the guy. By the way, I've listened to him. When I say all, and I don't know most of it, but most of it is just very pop, shitty, crappy stuff, forceful rhyming, all terrible stuff. This guy had a lot of lyrics, and he actually had a lot of activism in him. And there was very interesting rap he used to do, and it was very. And I think part of it is somebody from Canada only, some gangster Goldie Brar has owned up to it. I mean, I love it how people say, "Maine mara hai. I live here. Kar lo kya karna hai." I love this stuff, man. This is, I mean, when will I become like this? I've been watching a lot of clips from the movie Casino, and every time I watch it, I'm like, man, I want to be Joe Pesci. Hey, you listen to me, I'm gonna fucking break your leg. And I'm like, when will I become like this? Like, sometimes I actually do, like, I mean, Starbucks, somebody moved my stuff and I gave them a wrap, and I felt like that was like probably hundredth of what fucking Pesci would have done. I wanted like Pesci would have come and he lift the spoon, he would have boom, 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 boom.
Broken the
Next time you touch
figures.
my fucking stuff, I'll tell you what to do. So that would have happened. Okay, I think we have completely digressed. You can make a meme out of this thing, but I just remember that. I mean, I was sleeping and suddenly this news came, and it was just, I mean, that more because we have to do this podcast. That's why I was like, we have to do it. Okay, move on to the funniest name. This is this is like outside category, but there are a lot of funny names. I talked about the Prerak Mankad. I mean, the Mankad guy. The guy's name is Mankad. Sheldon Jackson. Name itself is not funny, but then he's the reason he's telling everybody that he feels like a West Indian foreign player, but he's not. He's our Indian player, and he came out like only for one match, and then he kept very badly, and he was kicked out. I don't think he's coming back. Pat Cummins. I mean, guy's name is Cummins. Shah Rukh Khan. I mean, that's like a movie star name. I mean, that's just weird name, right? Enric Nokia. His name should be pronounced Enrich Noche, but then he's pronounced as Nokia. Then Quentin de Kock. Like, your name is de Kock. Like, I was really hoping some Pakistan player fucker will come. I would have actually said his name, fucker. I said, what's your name? Fucker. He said, what's your name? Hardik. I said, what kind of people are these? Like, what kind of country is this thing? And your last name is Dixit. Okay, this is just not working out for us. Okay, and you picked Ritik Shaukin and you not picked Ritik Shaukin, but your name is Shaukin. It's such a nice thing. And the best thing that you picked was Napoleon Einstein. And this fucking played for CSK, I found out. Okay. And the weirdest part of all this is that it's none of these players who are actually all these funky names that their career is not working out like very well.
Sachin
A lot of
Baby.
them. Sachin Baby. Sachin
Yeah.
Baby was also there.
He played for
And Sachin
RCB,
Baby-
I think.
Played for
Yeah.
RCB. I mean, these are some funny names. I mean, why don't you guys have another kid and first kid and you another kid, then give them some funky fucking names, man. Like that's how the world is now. Otherwise, it's just not good enough. People will just complain about you. Like, what did you do? You didn't name me like Elon Musk names his son, daughter, or whatever they're calling them nowadays. So, what is your favorite name? I mean, Einstein. I mean, that name is obviously Napoleon Einstein is something.
Nothing beats Napoleon Einstein. My goodness.
Napoleon.
Nothing
Napoleon
beats that.
Einstein. That is just hilarious shit. I mean, it's hilarious. Okay, now we are coming in our wheelhouse, which is the worst attitude. Now, Riyan Parag is there, R. Ashwin, both in the same team. I mean, there's something like not only the worst attitude, they have the orange cap, they have
Orange
the
cap, purple cap.
they have the worst color cap, which is
But
the attitude.
did you notice, like between Riyan Parag and Ashwin, I somehow felt that attitude from Samson as well. He would look at play, he would be like, in his own zone. Like I somehow felt he also was carrying an attitude. I don't know who instilled all the Rajasthan players these attitude. I mean, like to play with attitude. I somehow got the vibe from most of the Rajasthan players.
But I think there was something off. I was just waiting that day when I was watching the match and Hatmar was playing with Ashwin. I realized that if Hatmar gets out, then Parag will come. And Hatmar got out in that over of Pandya.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, they didn't stay along for long. But my God, the tension.
I was watching every single.
palpable.
I was
Please
salivating
stay
at
in the
every
fucking-
single they took. I was hoping that there was some confusion.
They were not looking at each other. They were not even looking at each other. Man, the tension was fucking palpable. It was just there. Oh, it was intense, man. And then, if you have forgotten already, Jaydev Unatkar, just because he's not playing, don't forget that he's got fucking attitude. And Hardik Pandya, of course, the attitude boy. But because he's won everything, we can't be actually giving him this trophy. So, do you think Parag has even more attitude than R. Ashwin? Because at least we have not seen Parag doing this.
No, he
I-
definitely
I-
has.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would give him the award.
Parag,
Yeah, definitely. I think because
Guy's
see,
still 20.
R. Ashwin has achieved so much. So the
I
the
mean,
attitude comes from somewhere.
Yeah,
Fair
did you-
enough,
did
fair
you-
enough.
By the way, Ashwin's strike rate for the whole tournament was 145. That's just shocking. I mean, at least with that, he gets some credibility to show some attitude. This guy
Insane,
can do
man.
anything.
Insane. Okay. I realize this podcast is going to go much longer because you probably make multiple of these. What about the most nervous player? Okay, Ishan Kishan is somebody I've seen like crazy nervous all the time. And then Ricky Ponting. Man, Ricky Ponting. What about Gautam Gambhir? People think he's intense. I think he's just nervous. He's just super nervous.
What about Iyer?
Venkatesh
Shreyash
Iyer.
Iyer.
He sweats a lot.
Shreyash
Right?
Iyer.
Shreyash
Shreyash
Iyer.
Iyer.
But he pretends to be this cool Aussie guy, right? He's always chewing the gum. He's always like pretending to be cool and shit, right? So I somehow like, I don't know, maybe he's hoodwinking me into feeling. Do you feel he gets tensed? because he's
Yeah, he
always chewing the
does.
gum and trying to be cool and all.
See his face when his team is not doing well. I've seen this during Delhi matches also. If you remember, there were some matches where everything was going well, and then suddenly someone will come and hit sixes, and this guy will like he'll do like this. So so yeah, I feel that he's super nervous, and because he has played a lot of matches. If you see, he's playing from a long time. So
Correct.
obviously he has gained some confidence out of that and all that. But to a player who has played for so long, I think he gets nervous a lot. And I think, but I think no one can beat Pant. Pant just looks, like I don't know. He looks
Pant
clueless.
his speed in his panties. That's how he looks, right? So, what do you think is the Lal? Who do you think is the most overrated batter? I have like Padikkar is overrated. I feel hugely overrated. Iyer, both Iyers you can actually involve actually, but I mean Venki Iyer and Ishan Kishan. I mean, the guy went for 15.25 CR.
Yeah,
I mean,
this season
context.
alone.
David Warner, all
Yeah,
and this guy together went for the same amount of money. The purple cap holder, orange cap holder,
Butler,
But
same amount of
Butler.
money. Okay,
Butler.
15 both together, and this
Yeah,
guy was
so
paid
to
15.25.
just because of the amount that he was bought for, to me, Ishan Kishan gets this price for sure.
I mean, you could have gotten
It's-
anybody. Their other guy, right? The guy went for like 20 lakhs or something.
They could have
They could
gotten
have done more.
back Krunal Pandya back,
He could have opened
or,
better.
or Trent Bolt back for that amount. For I mean, they could have gotten both of them back.
My goodness. So Vikram, who is the most overrated bowler? Because Ravi Bishnoi, everybody kept talking about. He played a lot of matches. Then Navdeep Saini. I mean, the guy's completely disappeared from the face of earth.
Saini is not rated at all. I so forget about being
But people
overrated.
used to rate him a lot. He's like, oh, Navdeep
Used
Saini,
to,
look at this guy. His abs,
used to.
six pack. He was showing on brunch Hindustan Times. And he was saying like how one time he was like the fastest bowler in India or something. Now everybody's bowling fast.
I think, strictly speaking about IPL and this season, I think it would be Pat Cummins. He was supposed to be their premier bowler, and the guy just went for so many runs they had to drop him, and then
Yeah,
he
fair
picked
enough.
up an
Then he
injury
just
also.
left. Then he just left, faking an injury. Left. I have this question for most excited player, but then I really don't think anybody can be more excited than Virat Kohli. It's just impossible. I mean, but it could be one case for this thing. Like, you know how the entire series Umran Malik kept bowling 150, 151, 152, 53, 54, and suddenly the last game this guy bowled 153, 7.3 and won it. Lockie Ferguson. I think the same way
Right.
Ashwin can actually one day just say like, you have this decibel level and I'll destroy it by going completely mental. I think there should be some meter for that as well. That mentalness, that what these guys do. Like how excited are these people? Like how excited? Then we need to same for Sunil Narayan, MSD, and all these people also. Like what is their blood pressure at that time? Like what levels are these guys are doing? I want to have a monitor. You can easily do it, right? You can just have a basic device on these people just to understand are they even alive. I mean, Sunil Narayan probably will be like, medically dead because that's how that doesn't do anything. It doesn't even bother.
I think you forgot
That's
one guy, Gautam
whom?
Gambhir.
see, see. I mean, I agree completely, but then we give because he's always in focus, right? There are a lot of people who sit in the dugout and they just don't really react a lot of times. So that way it's fine. But on a field, man, like when he's playing, the guy's literally not reacting. I'm pretty sure, like when this
Uh,
guy got his like first child, Sunil Naran, he just looked at the kid and just said, that's probably what the reaction was. Like, and I was gotten married also. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, this is not even a question. This is the imaginary IPL player. This guy has been there, but he never plays and never wins. His name is Arjun Tendulkar. He came out of Tendulkar's wife. Now, you told me he was dropped from Mumbai's Ranji team. I mean, like, why was he in the Ranji team in the first place, and why did he get dropped? Like, just these are like fascinating factors for me. And then I also have the most expensive imaginary player because this guy is never going to play, Joffrey Archer. He's gotten injured again. He's been out of the English summer. I think he's going to become a spinner, like R. Ashwin.
yeah,
I
like that
don't think
guy,
fast bowling is for him anymore.
Praveen
But I want
Tambe.
to
There was this movie, right? Praveen Tambe.
Praveen
He
Thambe, who
was
came back to
he used
play at 43 or something.
Yeah. So he used to be a medium pacer. Then I think after age 40, his coach said, "No, you can't be a medium pacer anymore. Start as a spinner." And he changed became a spinner and took a hat trick in IPL at age 44 or something. So I think
Bloody
that's
hell.
what happened.
I hope our podcast doesn't reach James Anderson, because if he watches, like, I'm just gonna become a fucking spinner now. I'm gonna play forever. I mean, this guy's bowling at 40 at this speed and awesome. Imagine if he becomes a spinner. You cannot kick him out. It'll be MS Dhoni and him playing like in their 50s. They'll be setting. They'll be like, this will become like Rajnikant situation. Okay, they'll be like, no, we are not lame. We're Thalaivas. Both are Thalaivas. It'll just
And
become completely.
since you mentioned MS Dhoni and CSK, there is one more guy, Hangarekar, who was bought. He was in under 19 team
See it,
this
right?
year. Yeah. So yeah,
Slinga.
exactly. So they bought him and never played him. And someone asked Stephen Fleming that why not playing him. He said, no, we don't want to expose him too early, and like bring down his confidence and all that. But the real thing was he's still 19 years old, right? It's not the right age for him to play for CSK. So I think they just bought him so that no
So
one
he's
can else.
gonna, I think in 2042 he'll start playing.
Yeah.
That's exactly when he start playing at age 39. That he'll be ripe. He'll be ripe. That's a good one, actually. It seems like a joke, but it's not a joke. Okay, this one for both of you is the top three. Would you feel the most useless players? I mean, we might have come through them before also. I have Shah Rukh Khan, I have Manish Pandey, I have Timer Mills, Anju Rawat, Shiva Mavi, Venki Iyer, Odion Smith, Kieran Pollard, I mean, Kohli, whatever. Like, I don't know what these players are doing here for.
Manish
I mean, all
Pandey, hands
Manish
down.
Pandey, right? Didn't even play much. I mean, he was supposed to be
He,
some big thing, right?
he would get this award even last season and the year before that.
His team changed, but his performance didn't.
Yeah, that's
I'll add one more name, Samad, who was retained by
My God, yeah, fair enough. I mean,
SRI.
they didn't play him because he
They
played
didn't play
first couple
him.
of matches and they got destroyed, right? Then they just say, because they
Yeah.
started winning after that, and they're like, okay, you're gone, you're finished, you're toast. Yeah, I mean, it's very weird, right? You retain a player and you don't play him. That is something.
Yeah, because RCB did the reverse thing. Even though Siraj was going for so many runs, since they retained him, they're like, okay, we can't drop him, let him play. So they played him for 12 matches, 13 matches. Last match, Siddharth Kaul came and he also went for so many runs. So like, okay, no matter who comes in, they will go for run. Let's play him only. But this guy, Abdul Samad, they dropped him, then forgot about him. Even after they started losing, they lost what? SRH won 5 matches and they lost all the matches after that. Even then,
They
that
lost
guy,
five, then they won one, and they lost again. So yeah, they lost 8 matches and won six.
yeah.
So
So that
what
was
about
funny.
the worst captain? I know, like, people will say, I will say Jadeja, but considering all that was going around the background, like, just not this IPL, but who you think, like if all circumstances are fair, then who do you think would be the worst captain? Would it be Pant? Would it be Jadeja?
It has to be Pant because Jadeja still was a new captain and there was a sword hanging over his head all the time because apparently they just wanted to test Jadeja out. He was not supposed to be the full time captain unless he performed excellently. So odds were against him. But Pant was completely backed up by the franchise. He was made captain last season also. They completely removed a year. So after having so much confidence in him, after having so much backing, the way he destroyed, I mean, not he, but I mean, the way he captained. Because, see, even if you're the worst captain, you can still do the basics right, right? And when you are going for the toss, you should select the right thing. Couple of times he has said, "Oh, I want to bowl." No, I want to bat. So, like that kind of well, I mean, that kind of attitude you are having, it's just bizarre.
I think it's
I
not
think
attitude, it's
he
just
should,
being dim-witted. That's exactly what
yeah.
Panties is. So do you think Bikram, like, sorry, BK, considering like, obviously on face value, it's obviously Jadeja is the worst season, but who do you think, if all circumstances, like even Steven, do you think Jadeja would be worse or Pant would be worse? I actually still feel Pant would be worse. Jadeja just wasn't ready, but Pant, as he said, like, he's been
I
there for,
agree.
right?
Pant would be my pick, irrespective of who the other nominees were.
Yeah, he's
And
never
I
going to change,
agree.
right?
I
Like,
agree.
seriously.
Jadeja. There were a lot of other external circumstances, which they were there, which could, bother him. But Pant, I mean, he was given full backing. He just made such decisions.
Yeah,
Pant
fair
has to
enough.
be, yeah.
So one of you tell me who's the worst death bowler and who's the worst finisher, which is the batter. So first finisher I have is Pollard. He didn't finish anything. He just finished Mumbai. Stoinis. I mean, he came so late. Sometimes he had like two balls. You have to make 60, not do it. And he's like, okay, what do you do? Ryan Parag, as he said last time, yesterday, he played 15 deliveries, scored one boundary. I don't know, like then he finished himself. And the worst death bowlers are Chris Jordan, Odion Smith, Shardul Thakur, Mukesh Chaudhary, Daniel Sams, Pat Cummins, Mohammad Siraj. I mean, I'd go on and on. So pick one of
So
them and answer.
for me, the worst finisher is Riyan Parag, and worst death bowler is Siraj.
Yeah, same, exactly the same. Because Siraj, I mean, oh my God, he feels like that classic RCB bowler we used to have in 2016, 17. In 2016, we used to score 200 plus, and still we used to lose. There's that. That's the level of bowling we had, and yeah, Siraj is that classic RCB bowler. And Parag, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone else. Pollard comes very close, but Pollard is having it's he is at his fag end of his career, so like okay, fine. But Parag,
Yeah, but he did
oh my
not finish
god,
anything. In fact, when it comes to finishing, he was worse than anybody else. So, but I agree with Parag also. Okay, the final question here is the worst umpiring decision. There was a Kohli LBW, which was very obvious that he edged it before it hit the pad, but the umpire said, "No, no, I'm not satisfied. So you're out." And Kohli just threw a fit. And that is the same image people keep showing every single time for even different contexts. Now, Wade's
yeah,
massive edge, right? Wade gave this massive edge, which can see by naked eye, and the guy said, no, 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 no. The hotspot says no, so it's no. That the Conway LBW, if you have forgotten, the DRS was out for a little bit, and the ball was like missing by like, I don't know, it was like hitting like ninth stump or something, and that tall, fat guy gave it out. And I never saw him again after that, by the way. They were like, okay, you're done, buddy. You're done. So, and the wide ball, the Stoinis one, I mean, like that was outside the strip also. And then this guy, the Kiwi Empire, right? The international one, forgetting his name, who even stood for the final as well. And they didn't put
yeah.
Michael Goff because they probably wanted to put one Indian guy. I mean, that guy, everybody loves it, right? Even Kohli says, like, hey, hey. So,
Menon.
Menon, hey, Menon. So Michael Goff was not there, and that guy was there. Phil, Gaffney. Yeah, Chris Gaffney. So Gaffney gave, I don't know, like one of these. Bikram defended, but I feel like Wade's massive edge. I mean, come on, man. I know technology is not showing, but you see a couple of angles. It's very obvious. You just say, like, just it's gone. Like you can make a
For me,
decision.
it
You just didn't
was
even try.
yeah. For me, it was Conway's LBW, and it got compounded by the fact that there was no DRS for 10 minutes. I mean, that's just
I think he
that's
was
just
just
the
taking
worst.
advantage of that. It's like, oh, CSK, I'll give some people out. He was like the Pakistani empire. It's like DS. I think maybe imagine the plan so amazing that people actually going so far up, they're like actually destroying the DRS. Like the bookies are destroying the DRS just to set up. It's like, how will I give not out? They'll be out. No, 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 no. Don't worry. We'll take care of DRS also. The power outage will happen. Everything else will work, but DRS will not work. So they even paid the money to DRS people also. I mean, this is elaborate. This is elaborate. This is
Yeah.
like Ocean's 11 stuff. This is big money
Yes.
heist. Big money
So
heist.
for DRS, I think later on we came to know like what happens is even if the power comes back, it takes some time for the DRS systems to come online. So that was okay. That I mean that's
I don't think we have
whatever
Snickos anymore. I mean, am I missing something?
we have.
This
Snickos. We don't have hotspot because BCCI doesn't allow for
hotspot we
hotspot.
don't have. Snickos we
Yeah,
have. Snickos sometimes
Snickos we
incorrect.
have.
Okay, sometimes doesn't
So
understand what the
for
hell is
me,
going.
I think the worst decision was by Nitin Menon. The whole drama, which because we forgot about that decision because of the whole drama which happened when Praveen Amre went out,
Oh,
and
okay.
that no ball because he has so much ego that umpire. He didn't even review it. All they were saying is that just review it, just check it with the upstairs umpire because that was a crucial phase in the match, right? So you can just review it, but no, he has so much ego. I won't even review
They
it,
should have actually
and
had a paunch fight with Amre and this guy, Menon. He's like, this is my paunch. You need to understand, this is not a waste. I mean, I don't even know how the hell. I agree, but when you watch it minutely, it feels like it's not clear and obvious as the word they use
it's
in
not
England.
obvious. See, that I understand, but you should
You can
have
review it.
you can review it, right? It should not be an ego issue that okay, no, I have given no ball, so it will stay no ball. That's not how you should
Yeah,
work.
because it's not
All the
exact
other
size
people,
anyway, and you cannot really
exactly.
know for sure. So you could have done that. Fair enough. So yeah, okay, that's about it. So this one actually went longer because I realized that I didn't realize how much argument of fun we're gonna have with this thing, and I realized I've put in a lot of categories. There's a lot more categories. Hopefully, all these people who won your awards, please be happy. Whoever is best out, don't worry. There's another IPL coming up for you. Oh, people have dropped you already. Okay, no problem. Ranji Trophy. Oh, they dropped you from Ranji also. Okay, come play with us. Okay, no problem. Like you go to Toronto, United States, man. There's the one guy, the
Yeah,
great superstar, who was supposed to be some superstar. He went to US now. Like Virat Kohli
Unmukh
was
yeah.
supposed to be
Chand.
the
Unmukh Chand.
Unmukh.
Unmukh Chand.
Yeah.
Another nice name. He's Chandi there. He's probably one of the three premium players there or
Marquee
something.
player.
And marquee. He is one of the three marquee players. The other two I've not heard of them, and they're like, who are these people? But like, they are the marquee players there. All right. So a final word now, which is again sponsored by our new sponsor, Ku Klux Klan. They're selling now koala hair blankets. They are very cozy, and Ku Klux Klan koala sweat cold coffee. It's made from koala sweat and made exclusively for rich and white, which is fair, not the white. We're fair Indian people, so none of us are looking very white. So please use some different
I'll try.
filters here. We can't afford it.
No.
So we will be back. We the bastard will be back with more nonsense awards and name of the celebrities that we are sleeping with, and all women.
Mm.
Hopefully, at least I am. I don't know about these people. I can't take it and the Gujus. Oh, sorry, not Guju. I can't say anything against the Guju. All nice people. These people. All right. Till then, please drink koala coffee and wear koala blankets. Like and subscribe and keep hugging trees. That's what everybody does these days. That's good for mental health
And people
and good
who are
life, right?
scandalized by that we are using koala blankets, but there is chinchilla fur which is being used from long time, right? And and chinchilla fur is actually taken from very small mouse kind of animal, very cute. Look it up. I didn't even
PETA,
know.
PETA is going to ban this podcast. We are talking about animal first.
Oh my
We
God! Just say
are,
something bad about Parag. These people distracted. Just say something bad about how bad attitude Parag is. Oh, Riyan Parag, go troll Riyan Parag. The guy is something amazing, man. I wanna put him on my Twitter. I'll like follow this guy. Let's see what he does. He's chill. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you, full blood. Thank you to me, half blood and quarter blood. We will soon all be Gujus. We'll have to be. We'll be the Guju umpire, like the Mughal umpire. Either you become Guju or you with us or you dead. It's like that.
Or you do our jobs.
Do our jobs.
yes.
All right.
Menial
We'll be
jobs.
back with more football soon as well. So yeah, thank you, BK. You take care. Have a good rest of the day. You look very gymmed up. I like it. I like it. I like it. You see all the sweat. He started joined the gym. All right. Thanks, Vikram. See you next time. Take care. Love your wife
Bye.
or somebody. Bye bye.